Let's talk about the first step in SEO, and that's keyword research. And this is very, very simple. This is figuring out how people are actually searching for your product and service when they're out there on the web. Are they using the terms you think they're using, or are they using something slightly or maybe even completely different? Keyword research is the first step in achieving good search engine results for your website representing your product or service. Let's talk about a couple of keyword types. You're probably familiar with what's called a head keyword. And these are the typical keywords that you would think of. If you have a website for a business that sells ice cream shop might be a head keyword for your business. These are very, very short, condensed phrases or combination of 2 to 3 words that represent your product or service that people could be using in their Google search queries. Another type of keyword that's become critically important as the internet has exploded in the amount of content that's offered is a long tail keyword. And these are a little bit more complicated. These might be phrases like, what is the best ice cream shop in New York City? Or where can I find great ice cream? These are much more conversational in nature and typically much more precise when it comes to answering a question. They usually yield much more relevant results, and long tail keywords, focusing on building content around long tail keywords is a really great strategy to try to rank high for terms that you know will be effective. When we look at a graph about how search works, and we look at the number of monthly searches, which is on the vertical axis of this graph, you can see that head keywords tend to get more search volume. People are using those short phrases, lots of people. That could mean a lot of traffic for you. But what people don't always understand is that with a lot of traffic typically comes a lot of competition. So while there's a lot of people searching for that particular term, there's a lot of websites trying to rank for that term as well. So optimizing for head keywords isn't always the best tactic. At the right side of the graph, toward the bottom, you'll see that the long tail makes up about 70% of the actual searches that are happening on the web. This is because people have become much more conversational in their search and much more direct in terms of what they're actually looking for. So ice cream isn't the term they're actually searching for. Where can I find mint chocolate chip gelato is much more likely a term. The bad news is you have to try to think of and anticipate these long tail keywords if you want to try to rank for them. The good news is if you can build content around these long tail keywords, the competition is much lower and the results are much more relevant, meaning that that particular user is probably more likely to become a customer than someone who's using a very generic keyword like ice cream. So the first step in keyword research is actually just doing a little bit of brainstorming. It's going out there and finding keywords or actually just thinking of keywords that you think your users are using. From that brainstorming exercise, you can create a keyword spreadsheet, and any good marketing department will have a bunch of keyword spreadsheets. These spreadsheets are critical in understanding how your users are finding you and what terms you should be using in your content, whether it's on the web, print, or other. You can develop this list in a number of ways. The first way is just based on the products and service you offer. If you sell ice cream is a good place to start. You want to think of all the different ways that term may or may not be used in search in order to find your particular product or service. You might also try to think of modifiers that would make your search more relevant. The city your business exists in, if it's actually location dependent. The types of ice cream you provide. What's your brand differentiator? What's your secret sauce? Why will users look for you as opposed to another ice cream shop? When you're doing this brainstorming, what you're looking for is trying to compile good head keywords and long tail keywords. A great way to find good long tail keywords is to use Google Suggest. Google Suggest is that neat little feature when you start typing something into a Google search box, Google starts to suggest what term you might be looking for. This isn't random. Google suggests terms based on what other users are actually searching. So if you want to try to find a long tail keyword for your particular product or service, Google Suggest is a good place to start. There are also a number of other tools that we can use to do our keyword research. Google Keyword Planner is a great one, and this is one we're going to use in class quite a bit. This is a tool that suggests keywords based on the inputs you give it, and will also give you good information like how much search is it actually getting, what is the volume, how competitive is that term. The Keyword Planner tool is awesome. Free Google tool, part of the AdWords suite of tools that can give you some great information on your keywords and how your users are finding your particular website. There are other paid tools that also help, that are really good. Moz Analytics or Moz SEO is a good tool. SEMrush, Ahref, there's a million of them out there. All these tools are great in helping you refine this list, massage this list, come up with the terms that you think are going to be the best in order to get the right users to your content. So before we go any further, let's take a quick break and talk about a couple of terms we're going to be using in this course. The terminology when it comes to SEO can be a little complicated, but these are some critical terms that you need to know. The first is a term called SERP. You're going to hear me say SERP a lot, and you'll see that term or acronym used in the field quite a bit when you're reading about SEO. This simply stands for a search engine results page. This is the page you get after you submit a query. SERP pages have ads at the top, organic search results below, and they're ranked in order of relevance to you, the searcher. Page authority is another term we're going to use quite a bit. And page authority is basically an indicator of how trustworthy that particular page is based on a scale of 100. This is a term coined by Moz Analytics, and it uses what's called inbound links from trusted sources in order to create that particular page rank. And one important thing to remember is that this rank pertains to a single particular page on your website. So if you have a product, let's say you sell Nike sneakers, and you have a page just for the Nike Air Jordan, the page rank or the page authority of that page is solely dependent on that one page. How many trusted inbound links are going to that page? The second term, domain authority, describes how trusted is the entire site that that page lives on. So when we talk about our sneaker example, how trusted is Nike.com, and how high does that particular site rank when it comes to this particular statistic, domain authority. Both of these metrics play a key role when it comes to ranking on a SERP page. So after we've done a little bit of brainstorming, after we've created a compiled list of terms that we think we might want to rank for, now it's time to analyze those terms. Try to figure out who are the top competitors for these particular terms, and are they legitimate competitors to my business? This is critically important. When we talk about a term like what is the best ice cream shops, you may or may not be getting results that are your true competitors. So let's think about that query. When someone types in that query, what are they most likely going to get? Probably a couple of blog articles ranking different ice cream shops, some Yelp reviews, some other type of social proof that is showing what is the best ice cream shop. May or may not be exactly who I'm trying to compete for, right? However, another term like organic ice cream ingredients might be better. Those results might show exactly my competitors and me those are some of the terms that I might want to be ranking for. So what you're trying to do is you're trying to modify your list to find legitimate competitors that you can compete with in your organic search results. So a couple of things to think about. Search engines determine authority of a web page by evaluating the links that are coming to it. Where are those links coming from? What sources are they? Are they trusted sources? Do they have a high domain authority? And I think it's interesting to think about what are some of the things that you consider when you're evaluating the credibility of a website. Is it just who links to it? Is it the style of the writing? Is it the design of the site? Does it look professional? Is it presented in the right way? These are all human factors that we understand and that we use when determining the credibility of a website. But Google, remember, isn't that smart. Google only can read text. It reads and indexes texts. So it's important to remember when we're performing SEO that the things that matter most is what's on those pages and who is linking to those pages. As we move forward in the process, the things we're looking to do is to try to eliminate what we think are bad keywords, or keywords that we can't rank for. Keywords that are either out of our reach, too competitive, not relevant, or just don't produce relevant competitors. We whittle down that list of keywords that we think are best, and then we can move on to the next step of our SEO process. So what are we looking for when we choose keywords? We're looking for high search volumes and low competition. This is the holy grail and difficult to achieve. We want to find terms that people are using, but we also want to find terms that there aren't a lot of websites trying to rank for. We could also be looking for keywords with high search volumes where competitors have lower domain authorities or a lower number of backlinks than our website. And backlinks, again, are inbound links to our particular website. If you can rank higher in terms of domain authority and page authority for a particular term and beat out the competitors in the terms of number of backlinks from good, relevant sources, you're going to rank high for those terms. It's also important to remember keywords have different intent. Users have different intent. Some users are looking for commercial products. They're looking to buy something. They're looking to purchase something. Other users are just looking for information. It's important to understand what the user intent is when you search a particular keyword. If you've got a keyword, a head keyword, or a long tail keyword, and you pop it into Google, you should understand what are users expecting to see. Are they looking for information on that product or service? Are they looking for a ranking? Are they looking for a review? Or are they actually looking to buy? If your job is to sell something, then you want to try to target keywords that will actually get people and users who are interested in buying. If you are looking to grow your user base and get readers and users to your website with good informational content, you want to target keywords that are informational in intent. It's important to understand the difference. And as you go through your keyword spreadsheet and you test those keywords and you run them through Google, you'll quickly find out which terms, which head keywords, and which long tail keywords are actually producing either commercial or informational intent. When you've got keywords that are great, you want to try to build content around them. Informational keyword users are looking for information, so give it to them. Build content around it. Build blog posts, infographics, YouTube videos, presentations, anything that will get those users to see your content and maybe eventually subscribe to your content and eventually hopefully become customers. That's the game of content marketing. And that's where informational intent keywords are so important.